The Bunker Project, podcast episode number 45. And this week on The Bunker Project, we start the show right after the unfortunate Vancouver Canucks loss, and just after the riots began. All right, we're back in The Bunker Project right after the Canucks' unfortunate loss in the Stanley Cup Final, Game 7.
Hey, no big deal. They're basically number 2. Yeah, dude, what do you got to say something?
They are Western Conference champions.
Yeah, there you go. They're the best. They're the best team in the league. They just can't close when it comes to the
They were
crunch.
pretty much the best in all categories.
Yeah, they're best in all the categories. But you know what? It's been over 105 games, and they played their heart out.
And they did a hell of a job.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can't. You're a professional athlete.
Hey, they still got paid. Hey, and this is all old news. Everyone say, yeah. This is like 2 weeks ago, guys. Who cares?
Well,
so apparently the big cricket match that happened today is big news. The Canadian cricket, full contact cricket league, very popular. Hey, anyways, what the heck were we talking about?
We were talking about how we were plagued with technical difficulties.
Well, it's more like stupidity, but yeah, okay, we can call it technical difficulty. Pilot error. Call it pilot error.
Bob did all this work.
The show notes, 6 hours of listening to other podcasts, made some amazing notes, printed them out, and I left them on my desk at home. Duh.
And I left my digital recorder sitting on my living room floor.
Now, I do have an excuse. It was my daughter's 13th birthday today. So, I say, here's your present, gotta go, bye. And I ran out the door. It's like she got a 5-minute birthday from her dad because he had to go do the Bunker Project.
And my excuse is that Mateo is crying and very difficult.
So we're using our children as crutches
for
for ineptitude and early stage Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
From all that black beer that we snort.
But we have redundancy here at the Bunker Project. We have the adapter to record directly into a computer, which we do not advise that any podcaster actually does. But it's
unless
good
you
to
have
as a
Alzheimer's
backup.
like us.
We have a backup, and we're
back up.
we're
Speaking of backups, here's some
B.
black beer. Awesome, baby. Whoa.
That is good news.
All right, excellent. Thank you very much. You are so kind. It's interesting because, we are a audio production, and if it wasn't for us being an audio production, hang on. What's going on here? We've got one of the guys covering
Twitter.
the riots that you guys already know about.
So,
in Vancouver. This is live
that was set on fire has now exploded. So
excellent.
Hamilton in Georgia is apparently
shut
go anywhere near.
And I just happen to live a few blocks from there. So
excellent.
I've got to
good old Vancouver. They know how to lose.
So if,
those guys, they know how to lose.
If you find out after that I was blown up on the way home, then it was nice knowing y'all.
Yeah, well, as long as...
Well, we're in the bunker, right?
Yeah, so we're covered, man.
We're safe as long as we don't leave.
Can we open these windows and have a cigarette?
As long as we don't leave.
I like how it's pretty fun, though, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. Hey, so tonight, not really that much of a free roll. We're going to have a lot of gaming news because there's some awesome, really cool stuff happening. I'll bring that up in a second. But we also have a special guest. We have a tourist all the way from Europe. So Eric probably knows him, being from Europe, too. Oh, that joke is getting old. In fact, Eric is pointing his finger at me. We may get a shot of that later. No, Eric isn't from Europe. He is from a sandy part of...
He's from Middle Eastern Europe.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's... Okay, okay, this is some geography for the Canadians here and some of the Americans. Okay, there's this place called Europe, and it's got like all this land with forests and lakes and stuff like that. And then there's this chunk of water... I think it's called the Mediterranean. And then underneath that, there's basically this place called Africa. And then there's some stuff over on the right where wars happen and there's oil. And then a little further on, there's where we get all this stuff for the Asian import companies.
Oh.
So anyways.
Something serious is happening.
Well, hang on. We're getting some major tweet action.
We're getting some
this
major
is
digressions.
all old news. People can be listening to
it may be
guys,
old news. It may be old news, but we're getting it live right now.
Okay, we're getting it live. This is social media in action.
Well, the
Tweeting
24-hour news van is reporting a body had to be taken to hospital after dropping 3 stories from the Rogers Arena.
Wow.
Well,
that's like taking the game way too seriously.
That's where that kind of really like my stomach's kind of churning reading this right now.
Well, I was at a party once when somebody fell off a roof.
But here's the thing.
Hey, hang on. Before you go any further, I live on the 6th floor
Yeah.
So it wasn't Andrew.
And across the street from me in the last game when the Canucks won, everyone it was crazy, and there was these people across the street. There was these people across the street that were hanging out, like stepped over their balcony, and they just got this little edge, and there's all this activity happening down on the street, and they're taking pictures, leaning off this edge. That if they fall, they're dead.
And it's not funny, but it just shows human, nature and things like that.
Like, I mean, I was just standing on my balcony watching this, just shaking my head, like, this is ridiculous.
Now, let me rewind this a little bit, because I have been to Andrew's place on a sunny day. The balcony he's talking about, they've got this big, building, and they've got this massive balcony, and these two blonde chicks that like to barbecue hang out on this balcony. So that's why he's always looking there.
That's the only
Nothing
time.
about like, I'm concerned about citizens falling off. It's just like, wow, man.
That's actually the only time I've ever seen those two blonde chicks out
and they
there.
got a big barbecue, man. Those barbecues are horrendous. Like,
these were
huge
brunettes.
tracts of land.
These were definitely brunettes.
How could you tell at that distance? He's got binoculars.
It would make more sense if the blondes were doing that.
No, honey, I use binoculars just to make sure they're not blondes.
Anyways, it's
come on.
But can we get back to the other stuff though?
It's sad commentary.
What do you call that? Distraction?
No, digression.
Digression.
Actually, I was listening to This Week in Tech, and they digress a lot. And he said, you know what? We should have a digression sponsor. Every time I digress, we'll mention the sponsor, and then he pays each time. I thought that was a brilliant idea.
Yeah, that's right, Bob. Turn your weakness into profit. Good for you.
Nice.
Making the most of your weaknesses, yes.
I know. What I should do is actually have a sponsor that pays me 10 cents every time I make a spelling mistake. I would be so
you
rich.
Would be bigger than Bill Gates.
The dyslexic sponsor. It's awesome. Anyways, let's try and get back to the show.
But what I wanted to say is the funny thing is somebody just tweeted out, "Hey, you idiots that are out there doing this, you're getting tagged on Facebook and Twitter, photos, video, any of that stuff.
More
Boom.
product.
Well, more product. They could actually facial recognize them, though.
Well, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So that is a perfect segue from our Australian friend. He just called in. He heard about the riots, and he wanted to call in, and he wanted to talk about Facebook. And we're going to play the clip for everybody.
Well, you know what? I'm not sure if that's a perfect segue, but...
well, it's close
we'll
enough.
Do it anyways.
Come on, we'll work on it. We'll digress.
All right, let's play the comment from the question or comment
Greg
from
Griffiths and his
Craig
highly
Griffiths.
intelligent
He's
daughter.
Down in Sydney. He's...
Australia. Isn't that part of Europe, too? It's very close. It's just down from Europe.
Yeah.
Just across the street.
It's down from everything.
Look, if you go to the you're in Europe, and you go to the 7-Eleven, you go a little bit further past the Macy's, then there's Australia. It's easy to find.
That's about it.
Yeah. So, anyways, the clip. Awesome clip.
Before we get to the clip,
clip.
let's just do a recap on the whole Craig Griffith thing. You did
and his daughter.
Way back in episode 4, I think it was.
4 or 5. Way back in the day.
You said, hey, if anybody has some black beer they want to send
story.
us.
For all you people that never
are
listen
new to the
show. So
we talk about black beer a lot.
In fact, just go back to the old show, see if you can find the story. It's an awesome story, and that's all you're going to get. So let's play
you got to go back into the archives if you want to know the story. So here's the clip. All right, here we go.
Hi, Bunker Project guys. It's Craig from down here in Sydney. I was having a conversation about social media with someone the other day, and we've come up with an interesting sort of theory around the whole thing. Let's say Facebook. We actually aren't the customers for Facebook. We are the product. They've set up an environment where we go and stand like a crop in the field. They then farm us and sell us to other people. Social media, I think, everyone sees it as a product, but we're actually the product. That they are a business on selling us. What do you think? I'll talk to you later. I've got some great photos. I found the birthplace of old beer up in the Hunter. I'll put them up on the Facebook page. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.
So, I'm on it, dude. I'm there. Sorry, that was me. Pause. I'm working with a pause here, man. I'm working with a pause. Anyways, so the question, really what he's talking about is Facebook. We perceive Facebook as a product. Oh, it's a great way to communicate with my friends and, blah, blah, blah. We've talked about it before. Facebook looks at us or the data they glean from us or that we give to them in our ignorance as the product because they're selling our data. So we are the product. So Craig, that's an awesome question.
They're selling advertising that's very highly targeted to the data that we put on Facebook. But I'm just going to, this is my take on it.
All right.
Isn't it the exact same thing that NBC and CBS and CBC and all the mainstream non-social media entities are doing? I mean, we're the product for them too.
They've been doing that for years, yeah.
But isn't it the exact same thing?
The big difference is the product that they're getting from Facebook, it's much higher quality. NBC guys saying, oh, this is the demographics. It's maybe a 35-year-old dude who may have 2 children and may drive a car. In Facebook is, she's exactly 28 years old. This is her religion. Yes. She listens to these albums. She drives this exact car. In fact, this is the problem they have with this car, blah, 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 blah. Much bigger value, guys.
And they're talking about it right now.
That's why it's a $1 trillion company.
It's on their mind right now.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, she changed her mind. Oh, did you want that update on that data? Oh, that's the bigger package. That'll cost you $100,000 a week for that information. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's instant data about what people are thinking about your products now. It's basically their community is their gold mine. And anybody that, I've talked to 3 relatively new clients this week, and I've said exactly the same thing. Build a community, build a relationship with that community, and then basically ask them, what do you want? And we'll build it for you. Or what don't you like about our product? Or what do you like about our product? And there you go. You're done. You're finished. All done. Slap, slap, slap. All right. Twisted Matches have a good chuckle in the background. What are you? Oh, no.
So supposedly...
Nothing to do with social marketing.
No, this is totally, but it does actually have to do it. It says, morons posing for pics in front of second car fire outside the post office. Facebook may become the police best friend.
Excellent.
So it is social media and work.
Well, I remember...
It's kind of funny, like, hey, check me out. I was in these riots, and here's my Facebook pictures, and I tugged out my buddy's riot. It's
tag me.
Oh.
Hey, and
ding dong.
It's like during the Rodney King thing, the police were saying everybody's got a goddamn video camera.
Yeah,
but everybody that has a cell phone has a video camera these days.
Yeah, but they actually know how to use it now. And back in those days, it was like one of those big bulky things, and you had to turn it on and take the battery and put it in, and then take the lens cap off, and then put in the tape. Now it's
by that
like
time Rodney's in a ditch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. You got to be on the game. Well, basically.
Bam! Instant gratification.
Well, yeah, but the quality.
And it's on YouTube.
But the editing, come on, man. The camera work, the lighting. Who's doing the lighting crews for these people? It's awful. They are not Spielberg.
Well, you can do any of that stuff in any of the fine products that help you with your video editing. So,
well, yeah. Well, what about the fine products that take your really high end lens with a beautiful 5 megabyte pixel. Thank you. Those little square things, and morphs it in to make it look like a plastic lens in 1972 with color distortion. Like, what's with that? Because, and this is the argument I was listening today, photography is supposed to be fun. And the problem is, you get too serious about photography, the light's got to be perfect and this and that, and then you just get all anal about the whole thing. It's like, come on, man, it's for fun. You're supposed to play. That's a tragedy of people that get into photography, love photography, and become professional. They basically lose the ability to play and enjoy.
Hey, before the show, just speaking about like bringing up, putting up on the fly videos and things like that without good lighting and things and all that stuff. Eric said that when Satomi asked him, would authenticity be very important in a social media marketer or marketer in general, and you said that's the bottom of your list. I want to know what's on the top of your list, and why is authenticity at the bottom of your list?
I think it's a more general subject because right now the market is oversaturated with social media experts or online professionals or specialists of whatever kind. Like basically anyone can proclaim himself as an expert or guru or whatever. And because of that, you need to know how to filter. If you need one of these experts, you need to actually know how to filter them from all the noise that's out there. So in my perspective, after like working in the advertising and online industry for 15 years, one of the first terms that you immediately suspect when someone introduces himself is saying, I'm creative, or I'm a fan. You need to first know what you
have to remember 1339.
Yeah, you need to filter it out.
Bull crap, you can say, okay? Hey, anyways, totally, I get that. One thing that curdles my milk is when I meet somebody, hi, how do you do? I'm a social media specialist. I'm a social media guru. I do this. With, it's like, dude, social media is evolving so much. I do it all the time. I wake up in the morning, there's a new product I have to learn. And really, there's no such thing. There's just people that are students of social media that are trying to help other people, usually businesses, understand the potential of what you can do with this new series of tools, which apparently is infinite. It's crazy, but yeah. So you're right on there. All right, okay. Can we get a news? We've got our news break.
There's supposedly riots in Boston.
Riots in Boston.
Yeah.
So, all right, so I don't feel so bad.
You win, you riot, you lose.
So it's a win-win.
So what did we learn from this experience?
It's a win-win for the police.
People are just so damn angry, they got to rise up on something.
Well, I know. They're going to be using it next year in City Hall, saying, you see, we need more money for the police.
Well, the police will be
we need $300,000 for another 2 cars and 1 guy, because that's how much it costs, apparently.
And more people from the VPD to Twitter.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Exactly. Vancouver Fire Department.
But we were talking about this before.
There's a fire.
You remember the San Francisco riots when the Giants lost? Or did they win? One of the two.
Those Giants, they came in, they were crushing buildings. Godzilla got involved. It was amazing. That's when they decided to make the remix of... never mind. So I just couldn't help myself. All right, let's go to the show notes.
Yeah,
since we're about 15, 20 minutes into the show, we haven't actually talked to anything.
Is this the podcast about social media? Am I in the right
place? Speaking of social media,
all right.
Bob
Mr.
and,
Sarcastic.
Bob and our
bold friend over there.
Special guest from Wix.com here, our regular here, and...
Hey, actually, I'd just like to say Eric is the guy that masterminded the sponsorship. So thumbs up to Eric. Well done, Eric. We pay him in pizza. So, what can we say? It was a good deal. We bribed him. Dude, man, if I give you like a pepperoni pizza, could you swing us a deal? I said, yeah, throw in a bottle of wine and it's all yours. Luckily, the guys at Wix don't listen to this podcast, so his job is safe.
Anyways, both Bob and Eric went to social media camp.
Oh, right. We did.
Weekend.
We got totally enthralled. That's the word. Yeah, at this bar.
Inebriated. And
all right,
so they set up this tent. I wasn't there, by the way.
It was purely professional, I swear.
She was a professional, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
It was very professional.
Well, all that means,
and her twin sister also, very professional.
All that
she was very good at social techniques.
All that means is you can write it off. That's all that means.
Very important,
Yeah, there was a lot of write-off going, mostly brain cells being written off. Okay, so the report on social media, went there with my co-host Kimberly Pumley from the Garlic and Plum Jam Show.com. And we set up a 12-man tent inside the hotel lobby area where this trade show was going on, or this educational show was going on. It was a massive hit. And we basically pulled people off the show and interviewed them podcast style. We interviewed the keynote speaker. What was hilarious, we interviewed him half an hour, 45 minutes before his piece. He went up, his keynote speech, he talked about the podcast tent.
He couldn't get over it. I was there. He needed help. He needed a hug after your treatment, Bob.
He was shaking, man. Oh, my God. I can't believe I got out of this tent alive. These are lunatics in here. But, yeah, we got some great... We got about 20 recordings. I'm putting a couple together. So we brought about 15 shows worth of material in 2 days. It was insane. People say, so what was the show like? I said, I don't know. I was in a tent for 16 hours a day. God.
So, Eric, what was the show like?
Mostly it was okay. A few good basic classes. I'm not being fair because I already knew most of the stuff, but for those like small business owners that are just starting or those professionals that are into social media, it was a good enough knowledge to start with.
Yeah.
But the main thing, exactly like Bob said, is the people, the networking aspect. We've met some excellent people,
awesome people
from Vancouver, and from my experience being there for the first time, it was a pleasure and an honor to meet so many like social media or online experts from Vancouver. You can actually see there's a great potential of community around here that most people that are into it can actually meet one another around here, not just stay online.
Yeah,
which is the advantage here around these parts.
Yeah, it was very authentic. Awesome. I mean, we met some cool people. Now, what was interesting, some of the people that I meet in meetup groups here in Vancouver were at the show, and I discovered that. Now I'm going to go forget his name. He's got a cool name too. I invited him to the show. Now he's not going to come to the show if I forgot his name.
Hootsuite?
Yeah, the Hootsuite guy.
Kemp Edmund.
Kemp. You know why I can't remember his name? Because it's Kemp. Kemp. How many Kemps do you know? Kemp.
One.
Kemp.
Well, that's why you should remember it.
That's him.
Hemp. I think we should change his name to Hemp.
No.
It'd be easier to remember.
Don't make fun of
Well, how many Hemps do you know?
You know,
Kemp. That's true, but it'd be easier to remember in Vancouver. Vancouver Hemp. Easier to remember than Vancouver Kemp. It's more European. You know, it's a very European
But
name.
you could have remembered it as Kemp in the Tent.
No. I'll have to go. It's my dyslexia kicking in. Sorry, Hemp. Hempy Camp. Campy Hemp. Anyways, he is a totally cool guy. I knew when he was a lecturer at BCIT, and he got scooped up by the boys at Hootsuite, and he's loving it. He is doing some amazing stuff. So we sat down and chatted with him for like 30, 40 minutes. Amazing interview. All sorts of cool stuff he came out with that. And I think that's coming out next week, so you guys tune in. When you're listening to this show, if you go to Garlic and Plum Jam.
Is there a .jam? That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I know. Actually, no, it's gone. I tried. So garlicandplumjam.com. Thank you.
Drop a comment and
Please.
plug in about Kemp. Since he's the social media expert and the university guy in Hootsuite.
Yep.
Definitely. So we, in fact, got him to my own meetup classes here in Vancouver for Wixcom. So, in fact, next week, Kemp is going to come out to our meetup group and give a presentation about Hootsuite and social networks and so on.
Oh, highly recommend that.
So, if anyone wants to join, just go to meetup.com, search for Vancouver Online Business Optimization Group, and join us.
But the thing is, by the time people listen to this...
Okay, in general, they can join.
Yeah, well, I would think... I would definitely go to any of Eric's meetup.com event because they're highly educational, very focused, lots of knowledge going down compared to, let's say, the Bunker Project where we kind of drink a lot and then waffle and pancake and bacon.
That's why I'm here, to balance my chi, right?
Exactly. There's a major chi balancing going on.
This show will actually be released before that.
Will it? Okay, excellent. So go down to the show.
The second one won't.
Gosh darn it, go down to that show.
If you're in Vancouver, go down to the show. And maybe will you be recording it for people who aren't going to be in Vancouver?
If Bob turns up, yeah.
Yeah.
But if I don't turn up, no, it won't be recorded. That's just the way it's...
But we need to discuss about having a special dedicated class about creating a podcast.
Yeah.
So I can bring everyone and you can record a real-time
podcast,
show.
Teaching about podcasts.
Everything together. Let's just...
Nice.
Combine ourselves
very, very cool.
and create a huge one if you want to.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Right. It's now at Homer in Georgia.
Awesome. I hear there's some great coffee shops around there.
Just keep it away from Homer.
Charlie, what do you think of this coffee? Not bad. It goes well with the riots. He said, oh, look at that guy. He's running around flames.
Well, they said they're through tear gas and police dogs have been released into the crowd.
All right.
Great. It's 1994 all over again.
Hey, didn't you guys bring that up like a couple of shows ago that you're like, hey, just in 1994, just past these
right
doors.
out the doors here.
I know. It's crazy.
Back then it happened on Robson. Now it's happening over there.
Well, that's because the big screen TV was
because of the fan zones, yeah.
Well, you know, I was accused earlier of causing the loss. So
No,
no, it's been taken back by the masses.
I don't know. I kind of did say that,
but it was in the heat of the moment.
I thought you said it was me.
It was a micro riot.
I kind of think it was all of us, but usually, like, it was kind of weird. Like the Bunker was 4-0 up until that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time we did the show, they would win.
Yeah, but they kind of blew a lot of stats because
that's that whole stat thing.
The Olympic stat
out the window. No pun intended.
Everything.
Well, they lit the Olympic cauldron way too soon. Way too soon. After game 2, no, that's a bad idea.
Well, you know, as soon as I saw that they were planning the parade, that was
what's with that?
A little bit preemptive, and I thought, oh no.
Yeah, I know. Well, nobody would have turned up anyways, even if they had one.
You don't think so?
No, they'd have been too busy riding.
No,
well, they said, that the same thing's happening in Boston, so.
Yeah, exactly. Different
social media is
reason.
being used, they said. So.
Oh, yeah. It's like, I would like to see the Twitter graphs.
Earlier, I actually saw police officers carrying cameras with them, like actual video cameras. So.
Yeah, they can't afford iPads, that's why.
One of the best comments, though, is the difference between 1994 and today is that you can watch the riots in HD.
Oh, nice. Yeah. You can zoom into some real good quality
I was there,
texture.
Not participating in the riot, but I happened to be there, and I was taking pictures with this cheap camera, and I was like, wow, I'm getting all these good shots, and everyone thought it was crazy.
Yeah.
And when I developed the pictures, they were like way off in the distance, and like, this guy. So you can sort of tell that that's a riot cop. He's got a shield there. You can sort of see it.
You know, I've got a nice idea for next year. For the final
the annual riots. Yeah.
If you can have at the exact same time the G20, also
perfect.
I mean,
you could save millions of dollars in security. Jeez, you think they would work that way?
Hey.
Where's the G20? That's the team that's going to win. So whoever's winning the game, it's like the finals being played in Vancouver. That's
Eric's
where the G20 is going to be.
Secret recipe
Very
for
nice.
a riot.
Well, it's not right. It's utilization of resources. Because then you wouldn't have to reallocate the resources. You have the police presence there. They would have their quota of tear gas and all that type of stuff. And then you have the hockey rioters and the guys that are kind of ticked off with the G10 or 20 or 30, depends how many turn up. And then the other, like the postal strikers, right? There you go. Those guys rioting.
They actually smashed open a postal office supposedly, and a
nobody was
Bank
there.
of Montreal, but those are both on Georgia Street downtown Vancouver, so they're like right in the path of. I'm surprised the library didn't get hit. Then.
Yeah, but
Well, yeah, but it's used in so many movies. Nobody's going to touch that baby.
The library.
You get. That library is in.
Why can't people be
so
more like
many
us?
Star Trek movies.
The Canucks lose. We do a podcast.
Yeah, or we play video games.
Yeah, we go home. We don't start damaging property.
In Calgary, I was there for 2004 for Game 7, and none of the fans, there was not a single reported incident due to the hockey game.
Well, you know why? It was 40 below.
No, it was in the middle of June again.
Well, it's okay, 30 below.
And everybody was high-fiving and being good to each other. It was just, they were so glad they actually got there. It's like Vancouver got there, and they were like, we're going to win.
Which I think it was because it was a sunny, warm day.
Well, we thought that was actually going to deter people.
Yeah.
Because you can be seen easier.
Well, you get a sunstroke from being out in the sun too much when you're riding. I don't know. And that mustard gas that the police use, I tell you, it's really bad for your complexion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If they use mustard gas, it would be over.
They should have used Dijon.
Maybe some chlorine gas.
Dijon. Well, no, that's only when in the Paris G8. Oh, no, the police have shot Dijon mustard. Everybody's bringing out their baguettes. They're everybody stopped and having lunch. The riots are over.
That's what the Canucks should have done. They should have got a big pizza and just given everybody a slice. It's like, hey, food. And it's like, oh, I'm totally cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Pizza. All right.
I mean, I think all of you people are taking it a bit too seriously, because what we have right here in Vancouver, it's like a wedding in Israel. I mean, of course, you need to break something, burn something, or whatever. I'm such a liar.
You're totally lying.
Well, I believed you until you told yourself, So that's the problem. The Europeans are too damn honest. Too damn honest.
I didn't even know they had hockey in Israel.
They did.
Don't.
They do. But the problem with their skates, they get so worn down with the sand.
Yeah. we skate on tanks. It's much nicer that way.
Oh, the tank games. That's tank polo. Come on, can't be fooling me. Oh, my God. Hey, this is what is this? Can we have at least the second thing on my list of content?
Let's do it.
For God's sake.
Sorry.
So are we finished with the social
This is
media
just
account?
making sure that we're cool.
What about Rain Coaster? How was her speech? How was her presentation at social media?
I missed everything. I was in the tent doing interviews.
Did you see Rain Coaster's presentation?
No, there was triple things going on. It was like a 3-wing circus, literally. There were horses, elephants everywhere. It's amazing.
Well, that'd be cool.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Let's just jump in here. I've got... it's so hard to read not on paper. Make the screen go up a bit.
Oh,
okay, so he's having a hard time making the screen go up. So as we wait for Andrew to learn how to make this, because it's a Macintosh, it doesn't work the same as a PC. When you say the screen goes up, it actually goes down.
We're right at the very top here.
I know. All right, so...
You want me to go down?
Scroll down.
All right.
Scroll down. Now I can see where I am. A little bit further. A little bit further. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, that's perfect. Sorry. I couldn't help myself there. Andrew, you're the best.
Right.
All right. So let's talk about streaming. I want to know Pandora, RDO, MOG compared to Google Music and the new iCloud services out there, iTunes. Anybody heard about the new
yeah, none of them work in Canada.
None of them.
Well, none of
them. They used to if you faked your
your IP.
All right,
well,
so now you got me started. Okay, so Netflix doesn't have the same content in Canada as it does in the U.S.
No, is it a conspiracy or is it something to do with copyright?
No, it's not a conspiracy. It's just they're just a number
Lawyers,
of years. They're a number of years behind. They have to negotiate the deals and all that. And if you get a Kindle in Canada,
there's 4 books available.
You're
in Canada.
buying from Amazon.ca. You're not buying from Amazon.com, and they know that because of your IP address when you're connecting via Wi-Fi or 3G.
Same with your iPod.
If you can't even connect in 3G in Canada, I'm not even sure.
I know it sucks.
And so you're limited to a very, very small amount of books relative to what you can get in the U.S. So, of course, I just bought my new e-reader, and I didn't get a Kindle. I got the Kobo because there's 2.2 million books available in the Kobo.
Well, you know what? I would say don't even worry about those silly little reading books. You should go to audible.com because they're like 75,000 audiobooks where people actually
and we'll put a link
to you.
in the show notes
for
audible.com. Awesome.
Yeah, they're really, really good.
Some of the books you can get on Audible are actually narrated by the author of the book, which is cool.
Yeah, the secret. Okay, here's the trick. I mean, audible.com, about $12 a month, $13 a month. You get 1 credit, and that credit will enable you to buy a book. So you go and you say, what's the longest book that they have? And actually, it's letters to somebody and so, and then it's the fall of the Roman Empire. This letter it's something like 3 weeks of content for like $12. Now, if you can, I mean, okay, that's going to the other extreme. So what I do is I get unabridged, which basically means that the book is word for word. So that's the first trick with Audible.com. And you're looking, your average book is 16 to 24 hours of listening. That's huge value.
The average one?
Yeah, well, okay, you can get ones that are 15 minutes. Yeah. But really, look, how much you pay 99 cents on iTunes for a song that's 4.5 minutes, 5 minutes long, 12 minutes long if you're lucky, minutes long. And these books cost you $12 and it's 16 hours. It's great value per second or per minute and the book's much more knowledge. You learn a lot more.
And for people
reading
who are
listening to a book than to a song.
For people who are used to listening to podcasts, it's a great option because you're out and about listening to podcasts anyways. Why not get a book?
No, I mean once you get used to the audio format, you can't go back. I mean, in my case, it's definitely either podcast or audiobooks. Like every day, I'm listening to something.
Yeah,
whatever it is.
And if you go to, I'll put a link on Uncensored Social Underground.
Okay,
and on,
I'm there.
I've already got one there on Podcast Hero, if you do get your free trial for Audible.com.
Oh, don't you get some books?
Bob,
we get some money too.
Get some beer.
Yeah, we get beer money.
You can help us out by get
us drunk.
Your first book for free at Audible.com by clicking on our link.
Yeah, and we will credit the beer to you. So this is an Audible book from George, who is enjoying. Yes.
But just email us.
Do I qualify for that?
Absolutely. Everybody qualifies. I even qualify.
I would have clicked on that link for sure.
Well, it's still there. You can still click.
Did you already get an account?
What?
Did you get an Audible account?
No, but I will.
Then you can still do it.
It's awesome. They've got like the history of gaming.
Click on our link.
Yeah, it's good stuff there, man.
I will do it. Isn't it for Crush It?
Yeah, Crush It's there. Crush It's on
That's the book I got. That was my free book. It's great.
I saw it.
And Gary Vaynerchuk reads it.
He reads the book himself.
Awesome.
And he's all enthusiastic like he always is.
Don't let your mother hear it, man. He guy swears every second word.
Hey, but
I saw him at the Art of Marketing with Guy Kawasaki on Thursday last
week. What a combo.
Week, yeah, that was a good
Guy
combo.
Kawasaki, Mr. And then crazy Gary.
Gary Vaynerchuk was awesome. He jumped over a bunch of stuff. Like he was out in the audience, like, "Hey, what's going on? Hey, you don't have a phone or a TV? Give me a hug." It's like,
I heard that they didn't allow cameras or
no recording devices whatsoever.
Yeah, actually, that's a trend now. I was listening to these guys were reporting on Friends of Gary O'Reilly. Anyways, so
Gary Vaynerchuk?
No. It was.
That would be Foov.
It was Foo. It's a Foo. No, it was. Who cares? Anyways, at the event, they were basically, these all high tech people said, "We don't want you to record. We don't want you tweeting out. We just want you to be present." And that's a huge change. It's like you have all these high-tech people, these social media people, all these technology people coming in and say, like, put your books away, put your iPads away, and just listen to the speaker. Absorb the information, and then go nuts afterwards. Because what's happening at all these events, people are so busy tweeting out and doing that, they actually miss the knowledge.
They need to prove that they can multitask, and then they lose so much in real time.
Yeah, there's no such thing as multitasking. It's the biggest fallacy. It's like if you say, "Oh, I'm a great multitasker," it basically means you do nothing. So, that's a good question. If you're interviewing people, are you really good at multitasking? And say yes, fire them right away. And then call them up and rehire them. Say, "Hey, so you're willing to do one thing at a time now?" "Okay, I didn't know it was a rule. For God's sake. It would make my life so much easier if I could just concentrate and do one job well." Gosh, I didn't know that. Kids today, what do they teach them in school?
Hey, but before we move on,
okay,
I know we already did move on, but I'm moving back.
Well, let's move back.
Since I got that e-reader, and I know I'm like just like you, I'm an audio guy, but I got my Kobo, and I've been reading. I just got it on when it came out on Friday, and I've already read 3 books.
Which one? Which books?
I'm reading Jack London. Because I downloaded a bunch of free books, and they sent me an email with the credit for $10, so I downloaded The Art of Nonconformity.
Oh, nice, very nice.
Which is a good book.
Yep.
And but I reread The Call of the Wild, which I haven't read since I was a little kid. And White Fang by Jack London.
Wow, you're really digressing, dude. Nice. What's with the ding? Who's that? Who's doing that? Is that your phone or my phone?
Yeah,
is that my phone?
It's Valerie. She's texting me saying she's so sad about what's happening downtown Vancouver.
Can she see it from the terrace?
Get her to take pictures.
No.
We're missing it.
No.
All right. Hey, so boom. Let's scroll down, scroll up, whatever works, and we'll see what we got next on our.
Hey, I got breaking news.
All right, here. While we wait for that, some breaking news. CBC doesn't stand a chance.
No, George Moen just said he's been given instructions to shut down all Blends coffees downtown.
Oh my gosh, that means Starbucks, no more caffeine. And actually, that's what's causing the riots. It's not the alcohol, it's the caffeine.
George Moen is the president of and CEO of Blends Coffee, and he's actually speaking tomorrow night. Not that anyone's it's going to be too late, but he's speaking tomorrow night at a social media or an entrepreneur event in Gastown.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey,
and he's an amazing person with social media. He really gets it.
Well, he if you just go to LinkedIn, friend him, he'd love it. If you go to Facebook, friend him, he'll love it. I mean, he's the only guy I know saying, "Hey, come on, friend me. Hey, LinkedIn, become my pal." Mm-hmm. Really, he just uses as a way to blast out to people. Oh, by the way, we got a new promo, blah blah blah. So he doesn't really friend you. He's just saying like, "Hey, be stupid and become my friend because I'm using this."
Isn't that most Facebook fan pages though?
No, this is his personal page.
Yeah.
No, all the big ones are.
Yeah, most of the big ones are exactly the same. They just blast out. Yeah, they don't communicate with their customers.
No, but this is him. This isn't the Blends Facebook page. This is him, the president. I mean, if he really got social media, he'd be like
he's into
building relationships.
Oh, that's it.
But the company itself does as well. Like if you go into a Blends.
Oh, they do all sorts of stuff.
They've got everything. They've got Foursquare. They've got Facebook, Twitter. They've got all of their right on every counter. They've got follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, check in with Foursquare.
Yeah,
and they've got these screens that are promoting all these different events in town and stuff. It's really good what they're doing, I think.
Well, he was able to to hijack the Olympics. And he got a number. Yeah. His brand got number 5 or 7 for recognition. He beat out Pepsi,
Coca-Cola.
Oh, I think it was Pepsi. Coca-Cola, one of those soft drink companies. Anyways, he didn't spend any money doing it.
Coca-Cola was.
He just got a bunch of people in town to submit all the events were happening on a blog for free.
Coca-Cola was an official sponsor of the 2010.
Oh, that was
Olympics.
Coca-Cola, yeah. And his brand got more recognition.
And his brand totally outdid them, and they spent, I don't know how many millions and millions of dollars.
A lot of money.
Yeah, so it's
more than George spent, put it that way.
Yeah,
exactly. But that's because he's smaller and he has the local advantage. That's the whole point right now with using social media.
Well, plus,
if you're targeted enough and you know what you're doing, doesn't matter if you're a small or medium-sized business, you can compete against the big boys, basically.
Oh yeah, in your hometown, absolutely.
It's absolutely true, but a lot of businesses didn't do it, right? He did. Sure. So he was able to leverage the locality and the base that he had, and
plus his
use
network.
the social media tools that he had built up over the years.
Well, he just leaned on his network, basically.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, I had a little bit of sore spot because, here he is. He has, he had like 50, 60, 80 people submitting content on his blog, made it, and then he came out and said, look, I had the equivalent of $250 million worth of credit, and he didn't pay any of those guys. He didn't give them any free coffee. Hey, thanks, guys. Here's some coffee, stuff like that. You'd think he would reward them, but it was like, hey, I got all this stuff. Hey, you guys did nothing.
And wasn't there any negative feedback or whatever afterwards?
Yeah, me. I'm the negative feedback.
Apart from you, Bob. Apart from you.
No, I don't think that. No, because people don't realize what happened. They just unconscious think, oh, aren't I clever because I was on George's website? I got benefit because some people saw me. No, George got $250 million in credit. You worked for him for free. You gave him a bunch of credit and content for the guy. He's the guy, and he didn't even thank you.
And what do you think will happen in the next round?
I'll do the same thing.
Think so?
Oh, yeah, there's lots of ignorant people out there. Everybody wants to become famous. Everybody was, it's this star worship concept. It's like, if he's the CEO of a company that's really successful, if I hang with him, then my company will become successful. Yeah. No, you work really hard. You manipulate as much stuff around you as possible, and you try and make money regardless of the consequences, and then you're successful. That's the way it works. Hey, not to sound harsh or anything. I still love you, George.
Do you think Blends has a better presence than Starbucks then?
I think Blends just basically pummel Starbucks.
Around here.
Oh, big time. Yeah. It's embarrassing how badly Starbucks does in this town. This is a test town for Starbucks.
Let's step back a second.
Look at Waves.
Starbucks is not doing bad in this town. You go into any Starbucks, they're full all the time. But in terms of marketing and leveraging social media and things like that, Blends is kicking.
Because they're local.
We're just talking about online presence mainly.
And you got to remember,
so you're not talking about doing business.
No, just the online presence aspect.
Blends is destroying Starbucks.
Yeah, they're very cool that way.
Big time.
But the thing is, like Waves, based out of, I think they're like New Westminster, but basically another local company, another coffee shop, for God's sake. Like we need another brand. Boom. They're doing the same thing. They're not doing as well. They're not...
Actually,
they were the first guys to go 24 hours, and then Blends copied them.
Yeah, and they were also the first one to offer 100% free Wi-Fi.
Yep, and then everybody copied them.
And they were full of students. And
big time. Staying there for 15 hours with one tea. $2, 15 hours. Awesome. So, what? Depends on your return on investment there, right?
You know what? That still helps because when you walk by a place and it's busy, you
want to go in.
You want to go there.
Especially if it's full of really sexy looking...
activity breeds activity.
I'm not going to be going there, man. Hey, anyways, let's bring up the show notes to see if we have... games. Let's talk of games. I was talking to our Twitter specialist here, Twisted Magic, about a game that's actually not online, but was played at this event called Werewolf.
What? Sorry?
Werewolf.
Yeah.
Where, as in, where is that wolf? No, not like that. So
that's like a plausible explanation.
You got like 30, 40 people to play this game, or 5 or 10
You
people?
could have, I think, probably the minimum you should have is about 10 to 15.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But it's a live game that can happen in a room or at a hotel or something?
Yeah, like if you're into a mixer or something like that and you want to get the people to kind of...
mix it up?
Mix it up, yeah, definitely. It's good to actually have people that don't know each other. But even people that know each other, it's awesome, too. So.
Yeah, because their real self come out.
Yeah. And so I guess, do you want me to explain how
Absolutely,
Werewolf works?
Dude. Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
So how Werewolf works is... everybody kind of puts, I guess there's a game master. So there's somebody kind of running the game.
Yep.
Otherwise it wouldn't work. So you've got to have like a leader. So usually, the head of event or whatever.
Or the guy that knows the rules.
The guy that knows the rules. Yeah, basically. That's what a game designer is. You know the rules. You know how to use them.
Yeah, and you manipulate the hell out of them.
Well,
if you're
being
really
a good game player.
Yeah.
Being a designer, you try to make sure that there isn't many manipulations. But of course, it ends up over time. And so I guess in this game, the manipulation is you could kind of hold your eye open. But in werewolf, you choose. You can choose 2 werewolves, right? Mm-hmm. And then out of those 2, then you have your villagers.
Yep.
And you have a priest and a detective.
Cool.
I believe.
Now, how do you choose? You say, you're going to be the priest and you're going to be the villager.
Well, everybody puts
votes,
their heads down, and the person chooses 2 at random.
Gotcha.
And those 2 people are the werewolves.
So nobody knows who the werewolves are. Do they know who the priest is?
No.
Wow.
They choose every time that something like that happens. They close their eyes, right?
Okay.
So then the game starts, and everybody puts their head down, and you start making like crazy noise, like this, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then he calls out werewolves, and the werewolves wake up, and they have to choose. They have to both choose somebody to kill. Then they have to agree on it.
Yeah.
So they kill somebody, and then they go, priest, and then the priest points at somebody and chooses to save them. So they're kind of immune to the werewolf.
Nice.
Werewolves.
It's kind of sounds like an online game.
This is eventually, how kind of like a lot of the game mechanics that we use in online games and things like that are just from games we play.
Real
as kids.
games, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hide and seek.
Except with dragons and swords.
Game. Yeah, dragons and swords. You just limited your imagination when you're creating these things.
Yeah.
And so after the priest and the werewolves choose their victims, then they allow the villagers to wake up, and the werewolves obviously live with the villagers. And the priest too. And you have to choose somebody to sacrifice.
Nice.
So the mob turns on itself and has to choose somebody to sacrifice.
It's kind of like Vancouver.
Right now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just
nice
got
segue.
Just got a text message.
All right.
It says Richard Street,
Homer
Street, everything on fire. Please, baby, be careful when you come back.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's
that's so
apparently
sweet.
a whole car building. What do they call those? Like parking garage?
Yeah, gone.
Parking garage is on fire.
Nice.
Yeah. So now that's 1 block away.
It's like here we are in Beirut.
Yeah. Well, but you have to remember these aren't real fans. These are kids that use social media probably, and
So it's the
I don't
dark
want to think
side
it's
of
really that dark.
It's those Facebook people, isn't it?
But I think that you could.
I know. You know what it was? It's just the frustrated youth.
It really is, but the most reports are coming in. It's like regular teen males, and they're the ones exempt. So I mean, of course, if you're 17 years old, you're going to come down and go crazy.
Yeah, well,
Of course, they're not going to do it in their own
If I'd known how to
backyard.
shave my beard and look younger and svelte, I'd suck in my gut. I'd look 16 or 17.
Yeah.
If you squint.
So anyways, let's go back
about
to
100 meters. So we're back at the werewolf game. People are getting ravaged in this room.
Yeah, basically, they choose one to kill.
Loving it.
And then, that
so
person
how long does it go for until they find the
catch the werewolves or the entire population
gets
dead.
wiped out?
Yeah.
So does it ever happen when the werewolves win? That would be so awesome.
All the time. I mean, if they kill the priest, then he's dead.
Nice.
So then he can't save anybody in the...
Oh, so the game's over.
The game is over.
A fait accompli.
So
well, not the entire game.
So
if the priest dies, but
the
it's
priest is basically like the king in chess.
He's kind of like,
Checkmate.
hey, I save one of these people. So if you can save the priest and you don't lynch him, and he goes, hey, I'm this guy, because nobody you can claim to be a werewolf.
You can lie. You can say I'm the priest.
Yeah, you can say I'm this guy.
And he says, no, he's not. He's the sales guy. Don't trust the sales guy.
Exactly,
And they take him out and say, what are you talking about? He's from Microsoft. He's the werewolf. What?
Wait. Let me get this game.
All right.
You have a werewolf in that game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually the hairy guy.
And you have a priest, right?
Yes. Usually the guy that's confused.
That's nice. Why don't you have like innocent virgins or something?
You do.
You do. Yeah, those usually the blondes.
Everyone else?
That's why you have to do it at a trade show. Yeah. That's why it works at the trade show, because
Eric is in.
Eric's like, I'm down. I could pick up girls, but being a werewolf, I'm down.
Excellent. That's why you got to go to trade shows, because you have like sales guys, werewolves, right? You get the priest with the evangelist.
I don't think you really.
And then you got all the girls with the skinny outfits.
I don't think he really wants an innocent virgin.
No, you really don't.
I don't think he does.
No.
Well, they can be very boring, yeah. Unless they read that special comic. Speaking of special comics, this is a great digression. There's a comic book company, not very good graphics and not very good writing, but they will do the bio of everybody. And apparently they're going to do Steve Jobs in comic format. There's a huge rush for that comic already. They haven't even put it out. That is awesome.
It's not only that. I also heard a few weeks ago about...
They did you, didn't they?
Not yet, soon. But about talking about comics, there's also I heard about a very interesting company in Japan.
Manga.
Manga, and they are creating daily news manga for the kids. who don't read regular newspapers.
Nice.
So they just format every day the main news into manga form and let them read it. And hopefully that's a gateway to actual newspaper, which is such an innovative way of using actual something for a classic format in your culture.
You know what the cover is going to be for tomorrow? Riots in Vancouver. Great material. You know, people flying around.
It's visual.
Great
looks
reds
good.
And stuff like that. I think mangas use a lot of time. They've got the cover. They've got a cover color. A color cover. Thank you. What is with my dyslexia today? It's really hardcore. Anyways,
and you're not even
it's
the
black.
It's a black beer, and it's black and white inside. Now, when people think manga and comic books in this culture, they think it's an 8.5 by 11 format, which is basically the same in Japan, and it's I don't know, if you squeeze it really tightly, 2 or 3 millimeters thick, maybe 4 or 5 millimeters thick, and then if it's a graphic novel, big thick sucker, it's 2 centimeters thick. In Japan, the manga are 3 to 4 inches thick, and they come out once a week. Yeah. It's unbelievable how much stuff is going on. Unbelievable. And speaking of unbelievable stuff that's going on, we have a segue here because James is
newsflash.
They say that it says they have to overturn police cars now.
Excellent.
Great.
That chuckle from the European.
The tourist.
I've seen that.
What is his maven name? What do you think Peter's maven name?
The tourist maven. Of course. It's the first tourist you've had.
The golf maven.
The golf maven. No. But I think he could be the tourist maven, man. Did you come here to play golf? You got to grab.
Well, yeah. Do
you like golf?
I love golf.
So what courses are you playing here in the Vancouver area, or are you going up to Banff?
I go up to Whistler tomorrow.
Oh, nice. I hear there's some killer
I'm going to kick some ass.
Oh, can you say that word?
With the golf club.
Yeah, okay. With the golf club?
Yeah.
Oh, well done.
So it's smoothly done.
So what's your favorite club, by the way, in the mountain areas?
Well, it's a wedge.
Yeah. 7-iron?
64.
Really?
Yeah.
So you like some nice uphill pops?
Yeah.
Very cool.
I like that.
Excellent. Hey, so let's look at the show notes and see where we are in the show. We're what?
Well, we're almost at the end of the show.
Well, you know what? Let's wrap up the show.
Yeah, let's do the end of the show.
We're going to do another round of black beer, though, because the end of the show, we cannot get enough black beer in the show.
I love black beer.
Yeah, he's good because he's got a full beer in front of him.
I like the tourist.
I've been on Twitter too much to be drinking beer. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not so drunk when I go home. The cops don't mistake me for one of those idiots out there.
James, you need to cross the street. Relax.
That's right. James is the luckiest guy here. If he comes out of the bar, falls over, and rolls down the hill, he's halfway home.
I might even
so
take
true,
a
and
cab.
I've done that a couple of times.
It's true. I was with you. Yeah.
I might even.
The only reason we stopped rolling is because there was a 7-Eleven. We went and got some chips and then continued rolling.
Chips.
I might even take a cab, but the cab driver might be saying,
apparently, there's no transit available
Are you crazy? You want to go into the danger zone?
They've cut off the transit
I was in Bangkok
out.
during the coup, and it had tanks on the street, and we took a taxi. I mean, look at the wimpy taxi drivers here. And we were just going to our favorite bar that was underneath the highway to get the TV so the rioters wouldn't steal their equipment. So we arrive in the bar, the car, throw all this stuff in the cab, and drive home. And we passed 2 tanks.
Oh, I can't do that. I can't flag down a tank on Robson Street. And
excuse me, you go my way?
Have you tried it?
I hear the air conditioning sucks in those babies. Hey, this guy, hail that yellow tank. Hello,
We're on the front page of the New York Times right now.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah, we were in '94 too, but we were playing New York at that time.
Well, you know, hockey is a rough game. Yeah. It's a full contact city.
So can we go outside already and burn something?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So I don't know if this
burn
counts
our
for
underwear.
us, but it's saying have given 10-minute warning for people to leave the downtown core before they use force.
Excellent. Force what? Force 5 or Force 6?
What?
Force 5 or Force 6?
I don't know.
So they're going to use the force.
Yeah, the force be with you. They're bringing in Yoda.
They're going to use tasers.
May the force be with you. Hey, anyways.
I wish I could have force powers. I would totally just go out there and I would take all those guys up against the
Now, I could just see him at the podcast show taking our beers. I'd mine now.
Well, that's what I'm worried about.
They're taking your beer?
Yeah, I'm worried about them coming in here and being like, oh, it's a podcast. Ah!
That's the first. Yeah, we've been coordinating the riots from here at the bunker.
Hey, what if...
Here it comes. You're waiting.
Even Abbotsford is getting in on the
drum roll.
PD
what
thing.
if
Brain flash.
28 days
pan.
later?
No.
What if that's actually happening out there? Right
Yeah,
now?
and we're the only survivors. It's a podcast team, and we're podcasting, and
There's
nobody's
tweets
listening because they're all zombies. Man, would I be bummered out.
That would be bummer.
Yeah, but we could probably always check on Libsyn. He said, "Oh, look at it. 68 or 98% of your audience are zombies." Like, oh man.
And then you will have to use the Yelp recommendation, which place is human, which is not.
Yeah,
You know?
great place if you're a zombie. Awesome pizza for zombies. Oh man, it's all about zombies. Yelp sucks.
All right.
As soon as
so,
everybody was zombified, I love it. We got to start bringing zombies in more.
I'm calling the end of the show, and Tristan
All
isn't
right.
even speaking.
All right, he's got a death
All
of a
right.
show. Death of a show. Anyways, thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, thank goodness the black beer has come here.
Thank
Did
you
you
all.
just screw the next time?
So
If we don't have another show, that's mean we were all killed trying to get home after the second show. That's all I got to say.
Goodbye, everyone.
so we will have at least one more show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay.
So lucky you.
Let's have a third show, maybe.
All right. We
Yeah.
might stay here all night. Podcast all night.
Show 52.
So thanks to Wix.com for sponsoring the show.
Yeah,
Wix.com
awesome.
is the #1 website development platform on planet Earth.
And
I can't
also
speak for
Facebook pages,
I
and
can't-
now
wait a minute.
mobile sites.
I can't speak for other planets,
True.
but on planet
I'm
Earth,
hanging out here. Moon is really hot.
#1. Hey, how long did it take Wix to become the #1 Facebook platform?
Almost 6 weeks, wasn't
No,
it?
the #1 Facebook platform. I think we're already in the #1.
But it took you like
2+,
2 months.
About something like that. Yeah.
They have a
There
very,
you go.
very active community. Awesome product. Check it out. It's so cool. When I first started using it, I thought, there's no way I'm getting like an infinite website for free. This is ridiculous. And it's this little tiny Wix logo. They're not even obnoxious about their what do you call it? Branding. So, anyways, check out Wix. Whip up a site. Send it to us. You could win something amazing.
A
I'm not
T-shirt.
gonna- Well, I was thinking like beer, but yeah, we can give him a T-shirt.
Sweet.
Yeah, awesome.
right.
A Wix beer shirt. We'll soak it in beer, put it in a plastic bag, and send it to you. You squeeze out the Wix beer shirt, you probably get a half a pint. Order an extra large, you probably get a full pint.
Bob will spill
That's
his
the
black
secret.
beer on the shirt before he sends it
Yeah,
to you.
I say with footage to make sure we do it hygienically. It's a fresh shirt. Oh, wait, never mind.
And go to facebook.com/The Bunker Project to see an example of a good Wix page.
Yeah, friend us.
James is laughing.
all right,
and,
so
I
so
don't
must
even
be-
want to know what's on the
Yeah,
Twitter
so
stream.
you gotta tune
We're
in.
going to close off the show. Call us at 1-877-636-1474 and leave a message just like Craig Griffiths, our friend down in Sydney, Australia, did,
With his fantastic daughter.
with his fantastic question about social
And his
media.
lovely wife. And he has an awesome podcast show. Check it out.
Are you the product? That's the question.
Yeah, and
the
we're not going to
answer
answer
this
it.
week.
All right.
All right.
Ciao, guys.
See you again next week.
Ta-da. Let's go, Riot!